I'm live. I'm very excited that I'm live. I have had the most incredible panic about nothing working. And I think it's Spirit's way or the computer's way of saying, you left me alone for too long. Anyway, hello, hello, hello to all of you that are viewing me as we go. And those of you that come on later on, I'd like to say thank you for joining me and welcome. And for those of you that are coming on afterwards, you can still send me questions and you can have a look at my emails or send me an email. So I can still get your information. So please say hello, whoever's on, because I can see that there are some of you, and you know what I'm like. I need my questions. I need the hello Sandra and Gwenny and Bella. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If only you knew the panic that I just went through because nothing was working. So I went whizzing up to Officeworks and bought new camera and microphone. I didn't need them. All I needed to do is to switch off and reboot the computer. Hello Tara. So thank you all of you for coming on here this evening, and it's been such a long time. Kisane, nice to see you as well, and I know you're from Brisbane, but in the I think it was the I'm just trying to think, before the 11th of December was the last live that I did, because I was going in for an operation and I'm all done and dusted. My third eye and my crown chakras are still working because I was so panicked about that, because they've actually done a really big thorough operation, which was a bit scary. But the only thing that isn't happening at the moment is I can't sing. So I'm not going to be doing any music tonight. Now, whether that continues or not depends on you guys. Do you like the music to start with and at the end? That's what I need to know. Hello, Christina. Nice to see you. And Vicky, always lovely to see you, darling. How are you? So I always ask you for questions. So have you got any questions pertaining to spiritual stuff? If we get any trolls on here, thanks Tara, if we get any trolls on here tonight, I will try desperately to get rid of them, but sometimes I can and sometimes I can't, and sadly that's, you know, that's what happens sometimes. And yeah, Christina, you finally made it. Yay. Natasha, lovely to see you. Bella, I'm a bit worried about your thing. I was on the table for about 11 and a half hours once. Oh, for an operation. Mine was only 3.5 hours, so that was minuscule compared to yours. But even so, it was still, for me, it was a big operation. Hello, Maria, and happy anniversary. Okay, so what has been happening in the world of Valhood since before the 11th of December? I'm going, 11th of December is my benchmark because that's the date I had my operation. But I am honestly so thrilled with what's happening as far as I'm concerned. And the lovely doctor, hello Tony, the lovely doctor said, I don't know how you've been managing to keep things going, let alone do things like this and whatever. So I think I deserve a medal for what I had to go through. Anyway, now questions pertaining to spiritual things, I've already said. I'm going to talk about my courses shortly. I also want to mention, now, a lot of you have seen my lovely healing book. Well, I now have double, because the lovely Bella Sayward is beautiful, because she managed to get me another one identical from the same place, which was Hever Castle in the UK. All right, Ian and Diane, lovely to see you. Yeah, I do deserve a medal, Tara, you're right. So I was telling everybody that I was running out of space in my healing book, and I tried desperately to get another one, and I absolutely love this book because it's got the most beautiful, I've shown everybody before, it's got the most beautiful pictures in, and it's the prayer book, Anne Boleyn prayer book. So I was so happy. So Bella, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That was one of the most special gifts I could have been given. So I've got to keep that accessible because of healing names. So let me have your names for healing. Now, Tony's just asked a question: are my courses at daytime or nighttime? They're going to be, and I will talk about this a little bit more in depth in a minute, but they're going to be on a Saturday and a Sunday morning once a month for 4.5 hours. And there's a reason that I'm doing that, and I'll explain that in a second. So names for healing, please let me know. I'm sending out healing to everybody on here. Ian, I'm sending healing out to you if you're still listening. And yeah, do you know, it's interesting is the wrong word. It's difficult when we go through a grieving process, and we all go through a grieving process in our own way. And I get really, really cross sometimes when you hear people who say, oh, you should get over it, you know, you shouldn't be grieving now. Well, I would actually say whoever says that, I feel like slapping them in the face, because grieving is a personal thing, and you grieve to your to you. It's to suit you, not to suit anybody else. So don't let anybody tell you, please, that you have to grieve or for a certain period of time, or you have to get over the loss and you know, get on with your life and blah blah blah. I just think those words are shocking when you do hear those. So, you know, do your own thing, and if you're grieving, then grieve as you need to grieve. Okay. Okay, let's talk about my courses. I want to say thank you for the healing that I got, by the way, for my operation, and I can't tell you how much that really, really helped me. I also want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I put out healing requests for my daughter and my 2 granddaughters who all had COVID, and they're now all okay, and I'm putting it down to your beautiful special energies that you send. But also my little granddaughter in the UK had to go through another operation, and she's come out of it really well as well. So thank you again for that healing. I'm doing lots of ums and ahs today. So so Tony said, it took me many years till I forgave myself from the death of my daughter. Do you know, okay, you shouldn't blame yourself, because it doesn't matter how somebody has passed. If they choose to pass, then that's their choice. If they have an illness, sorry, I'm reading something as I'm saying that. If they have an illness, again, they don't have a choice, and you know, whether it's their time to go, and I would like to think it's their time to go, so we can't change that. But so many people I do readings for, and they absolutely beat themselves up about, I should have done this, I could have done that, I feel guilty, why? It should have been me, not them. And you know, you can't change any of that, sadly, but just know that your loved one who has passed is always by the side of you. I love the fact that my dad passed 4 years ago, and it's like, oh, there's his song. What have I missed? He's out of the corner of my eye, or I'm doing some DIY, which I've been doing this last week, and I go, thanks, Dad. If it wasn't for you showing me those things, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. And I know he's always watching over my shoulder, making sure, you know, I've got the right screwdriver and anyway, so I think it's absolutely wonderful that Spirit is with you no matter what. You know, they're not going to be angry with you. They're not going to not forgive you. They're not going to be, you know, why did you know you should have done? So look, when somebody passes to the spirit world, they are around you no matter what. Even if you hated them or they hated you, they have to go through a grieving not a grieving process, a healing process. And that is a situation that everybody has to go through. So what do we call it? Judgment Day. We have to go over our lives. It's called different things, but I believe that we do have to go over, you know, did we do that right? What should we have done? But it's always about going through a healing process. And then, now what do I do in the spirit world? I can now be there for my loved ones, and I can still help and guide them. And I absolutely adore that. So just hold on to that one. And as I've rabbited on, I've missed a couple of things here. Yeah, Kassane said it does her head in, that grieving thing, and it does. It's just really sad. And yeah, we grieve over our animals as well. And you said you grieve over your animals for ages. I love doing readings and animals come through. The number of times I've had dogs bounding up on top of me, or horses licking my face or something like that. It's just as important that our animals go into the spirit world as well as our human loved ones, because our animals are our fur babies and they're our loved ones as well. So please, Tony, allow yourself to forgive yourself, and just talk to her as if she's still there with you. And that is a very, very important thing. A lot of people go, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And you just talk to them as if they're in the same room as you, because you can bet your bottom dollar that they are. So very, very important. Ali, yes, I will put the healing for Margie and George. I'll put it in the book shortly. I'm just putting it on my sheet at the moment. And Everly, yes, she is a little warrior. You would never believe that this child, who is 2 years and 4 months, has had anything wrong with her. She is a fighter. She's feisty. She's funny. She doesn't stop talking, but she has been pretty sick. So anyway, again, thank you for everybody for allowing the healing process to happen. So Bella, you've said, I'll be forever building myself brick by brick for the loss of my beautiful M, and I will grieve for her as long as I love her forever. And that's really sweet, Bella, but you and I know we've talked about this a lot, and I know that she came through in a reading that I did for you, and that made a big change to your life. And not only have you told me that, but so has your mum, which is wonderful. So M works with you all the time. You know that. She brings the rainbow. She brings all the other signs to you. Yeah, and Tony, you do know that she's with you. Absolutely. The same as Bella. Bella knows that M, who was like her sister, is with her all the time. Kathy, yay! I hope you're all right. And Bruno, lovely to see you on here as well. And I'm sure it's Portugal. Yeah, and Bella, I do forever. Okay, so let me talk about the courses. Now, I know, okay, Sandra, Carol, Valda. Okay, all right, Gwenny, I will make sure they go in the list, and Carol. So Gwenny, you've been messaging me about courses, so pay attention. Okay, so I was doing I've been doing in the last 2 years online courses because of the situation that we find ourselves in. And then I made all these incredible plans to do live. Well done, Bruno. It's good to be there early in the morning. So I had plans to go back to doing one-on-one workshops live, but because of the situation that we're in ongoing, I decided that that was never going to work, and I couldn't afford physically, mentally, emotionally to risk doing the live workshops and then it all falling about my ears, which is what happened just nearly 2 years ago. So I've decided to do March, April, May, June, and I'm going to do beginners, intermediate and advanced courses. I've actually broken them down because I realize that I want to give everybody such a grounding, such a good, strong foundation for them to grow their mediumship on. And sometimes, when you've got mixed ability people in the class, you have to skirt over things, and then people come back to you and ask you questions. So I have made it a point of separating the courses out. So every level will have a thorough covering of what you need to do to become a brilliant medium and to get you to the next level. And you will not be able to go on to intermediates until I am satisfied with the fact that you've grasped the basics of the beginners course. And the same with intermediates going on to advanced. There will be more things for the advanced people, but it's going to be a year process. So this course will take you, as I said, March to June. The first week in March will be the beginners. The second week in March will be the intermediate. The third week in March will be the advanced. Now the dates are all on my website, so valhood.com. Let me see, I'm terrified to touch anything in case I lose it all. Uh, after all the frantic running around that I had about half an hour ago, you wouldn't believe. Anyway, so there's the website. Everything is on the website. Everything is bookable. Now you can pay for the courses in one lump and you get a discount, plus you get some extras. And there is a question form for you to fill in. Gwenny's just asked the question, how will I assess what level we're at? And from the answers that I get on the that form, I will be able to pitch you in the right place. And I'm not going to put you in advanced if I don't think you're going to get through, and I'm not going to put you intermediates if I don't think you're going to get through. But by the same token, I'm not going to put you in beginners if you've got a little bit of an inkling of the work. But I want to make sure that everybody has thorough grounding, if you like, because what do they say? You can't build a house unless you've got a solid foundation. And with mediumship, if you want to be the best medium that you can, you've got to have that, because if there are gaps in your mediumship, there will be gaps in you, and you won't be able to do the ethical, the responsibility. And for me, those are absolutely incredibly important, because we are, as I've talked about with grief, we're dealing with people's grief, we're dealing with people's losses. Now that is the loss of a loved one, the loss of a fur baby, the loss of a business, the loss of a relationship, but we've got to be able to deal with that as a medium in an ethical way. Now in my 30 years that I've been doing this, I only look 21, I know, but anyway, I've got to tell you, my little granddaughters came over and stayed with me yesterday, and they are gorgeous. But one of them grabbed hold of my arm and said, "Oh, look at your wobbly arm, Nanny. That's because you're getting very old." So I was a bit upset. Anyway, by the by, so 30 years of doing this work, and I know what works and I know what doesn't work. I know what is responsible mediumship and I know what isn't responsible mediumship. Yeah, but Tara, she's only 6. So I've got to forgive them for doing that to me. But it was funny, she lifted my arm up and she said, "Oh, look at your wobbly skin." Anyway, they do make me laugh, but they wear me out, I must admit, because they're full on. Okay, I think, Tony, yes, if you're a healer, I'm not saying that you haven't grasped the basics, but with the basics, I don't want to say too much, but with the basics, I think you would fit in there better. Now, some people are saying, I want to go into advanced, but I'm thinking I might just put them into intermediates. But I know best. Spirit will guide me, and please give me the benefit of the doubt, because I am listening and working with Spirit as well. And I want to do the best by you that I possibly can. So there is, as I said, you can pay in full. There is a discount for paying in full, but you can also pay in 3 installments as well, which will make it easier. Bella said she loves kids too much and they don't give 2 pennies about what they say. No, they don't. Do you know, I love talking about them because they're just so funny. The older one got an upset and she had a strop, and I went in the room to see her, and her sister had got there before. Excuse me, I was telling her mum, and her sister just turned around, put her hand up, and she went, "Shh, go away." So I said to her, "No, I need to deal with this." So she went to the top of the stairs and looked at me and she said, "You are so rude, Nanny." Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have my hands full, but then so is mummy. Anyway, okay, so the courses. I'm super excited about them because this is the first time I've broken them down. I've had some fantastic people working with me on writing the courses in the first place, which I did with my lovely friend Sandra, and then a beautiful friend of mine, Victoria, has been able to put them into a very professional format, which is lovely. And then I've got a team of marketing and web people behind me as well. So we've put it all together. So is it all rolls along nicely. So you apply, you fill in that questionnaire, you make your payments, you decide on what you want to do with your payments, and then we'll work through them. So let me go through a couple of things that the content is going to be very in depth. For me, that's, as I said, very, very important. The levels are also very, very important because the number of people, and a lot of you here will have seen, you know, somebody goes away and does a course for a week or a month, and then they think they're mediums and they go out and they do the most irresponsible mediumship you have ever seen. I'm not going to have that because I want to have my team of spiritual warriors who are the best. And I'm going to make sure that that is the case. Tiana, lovely to see you. Go and have a look at the website for these courses, Tiana. So it's going to be over a 4-month period, as I said. And although I said first weekend, second weekend, third weekend, because of certain things like babies coming along, I've had to juggle some of the weekends, but that's okay. I want to cover the history and the pioneers, because one of my lovely students, Simone, she said, because she was doing an online course that I'd suggested she did, and she went, oh my gosh, she said, you've been banging on about the pioneers all this time, and I've only just realized why it is so important. So why are we doing mediumship? Why do we do it the way we do it? Who made that possible for us to be able to do this? And it is one of the best jobs in the world. But as I said, it has a huge responsibility with it as well. So we can't go off willy-nilly and say, leave your husband. Oh, your father is in spirit and he was not very happy with you before he went over, and he doesn't forgive you. How cruel are those sorts of things? And I've heard people who say, you know, oh, you shouldn't be with your husband. Poor dear me, you know. Is it our right to be able to say that? I absolutely disagree. It is not our right to do that. So the pioneers, they worked really, really hard to get mediumship today where it is for us, and I know for a fact I would not want to be strip searched every time I went and did a demonstration, and that's what they went through. So let's give them some credit, and let's put that credit where it's due, but let's learn about them and why and who, and all of that sort of stuff. So the pioneers are very, very important for me, but they're for you as well. We are going to have tons and tons of one-to-one practice. So when I do classes, I don't put people into thanks, Kisain. I don't put people into breakout rooms, because when you as a student are watching your fellow students, you're learning tons, you're learning loads, and then I can critique, not criticize, but critique, and then everybody sees why I do that and how it works, and then how we make things better. So that again is very important. There is also going to be an opportunity for, and this is something that I've done in the past, the students to work one-on-one with each other, and they have to fill in a report, if you like, of I've done a reading for Jane, and in my reading I said da 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 da, and Jane said da 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 da. Did it work? Did it not work? That's what I want to know, because if it doesn't work, then we've got to look at what you're doing wrong and how to put it right. Okay, so, and you know, that's the basics and basis of good mediumship. So we will also be having, for the intermediates and the advanced, we're going to do quite a lot of online live demonstrations with a real live audience. Now that is going to be incredible practice, and I know some of you know that I've done this in the past, but I want to do this more. I think the intermediates has got 2 lives and the advanced has got 4 lives. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head, but plenty of practice. The history will be homework, so you will be set that homework and then have to submit it. I will mark it. So there's a lot goes on in the background. It's not just me sitting in front of you doing a class. There's a lot that's gone into the course preparation but also the ongoing course content as well. Now I did say when I had this operation I wouldn't cough, but I've just got a little tickle because it's hay fever season. We're going to learn what's the difference between a psychic and a mediumship. Are you working psychically? That's okay, but you need to know that. And then when you work mediumistically, how is that different, and why is it different, and why is it important? So again, very important factors. I've said about the DEMS. Online, I've already explained that because of the fact that we are still in a pretty horrible situation, then we are still doing things online. But anybody that's done my courses in the last 2 years will absolutely guarantee that it didn't make a difference, because it was wonderful, if I say so myself. And a lot of the students did online demonstrations and they were fantastic. And even when it comes to an online demonstration, if you don't want to do an online reading, you can do a prayer or you can do a reading. There's other things that you can do, because this is also about building confidence and building your confidence standing up in front of the public. There, I will say, not everybody is going to do that with mediumship. They may use it to help them with their everyday lives. They may be healers, and it'll give them that added string to the bow, if you like, to be able to connect to the spirit loved ones as well as doing the healing. So we can use it in many ways. But I just want to say, what you put in is what you get out. The whole course is going to be online, Tara, because I can't do it any other way at the moment. If things change later in the year, then we may be able to do something. But this also gives me the opportunity of, you don't have to be in my state. You can be anywhere. Hello, Costa. People from all over the world can still join these classes. Now, saying that, I'm limiting the number of students on each of the courses to 10. And I'm going to be very strict on that, because I think that's a great number. And it allows me to get through the class with those numbers. Anyway, you can stop looking for accommodation. Tara, if ever you want to, you can always come and stay with me. I would love that. So accommodation is not necessary for these courses. So, but I'm going to say this because I was told to say this by a lovely friend of mine earlier. Every level you will be pushed to make sure that you have the full knowledge that you need before you move on to the next level. I want to make sure my team of spiritual warriors, which I've been building over the last few years, are able to go out and hand on heart do the best mediumship, authentic mediumship, and to give people that motivation, that upliftment. Pajama party, you are funny, but it's and this is serious. Let me be serious. But I want you to uplift, motivate, give somebody hope, even when all is lost, or they may think that all is lost. And Bella, I'm going to use you as an example here. When you came to me for your reading that time, for you everything was lost. You had that reading and it just turned your life around completely. I made comment about that earlier on. I know I did a reading for somebody today, and she was so overwhelmed and emotional, she could hardly speak, because she said that it was full of really good information, and there was an awful lot of healing in that reading as well. There was an awful lot more stuff, but I can't cover all of that. But that's what you're supposed to do as a medium. Not, oh, I've got your dad here, he says he loves you, he did this for a job, and you know, I'm just going to move on to the next person. If you say you're going to do a 45-minute reading or a 30-minute reading, you've got to squeeze all that, you've got to squeeze that much information into that much time, and that's what is important. Yeah, Bella said, saved it and gave me my sister and my hope in life back. And then look at you, Bella, you're now doing a university degree. You are a completely different person. You are strong, you are going out into this world, and no matter what, you're gonna conquer, and I love that. But that is what mediumship does. It's not just about talking to your dead loved ones, and I'm not being disrespectful. People do ask me, what do you do for a living? And I say, I talk to dead people, which I do, and it is, for me, that's the most wonderful thing in the world, because you bring them back to life. You give the life back to the person that you're working for. One of my students coined the phrase that we are giving spirit the opportunity of 5 more minutes with their loved one, and 5 more minutes for the loved one to share with their person in the spirit world. So thank you, Tara. It was Tara I did a reading for today, and she could not stop crying. And she says it was so uplifting and healing and full of joy. And it was just, even myself, I was blown away. I still am. And do you know what? It's, she will, Bella, she will. I was very worried about having this sinus operation, for any of you that don't know what the operation was. And I knew that they were going to go into my sinuses here, but I didn't know that they were actually going to go in and up and over. And I really thought that my abilities, my crown chakra, my third eye would be destroyed. And when I did my first reading after my operation, I was absolutely blown away, because it's almost like, you've gone up another level, and it was fabulous. So I feel very excited about that. So it's almost like all the rubbish is being cleared out of the, you know, where I'm supposed to work from, and spirit's now got clear access instead of fighting through all the muck and the gunge that was in there. anyway, so I'm going to be going back to do DEMS. I'm going to do those live, and I will start publishing those, but I just needed to get my courses out. I have been working for the last 8 months, I think it is, on getting these courses to a level that they're at the moment. And I can't tell you, I'm so proud of the team that's worked with me, and all I can say is thank you to each one of you for being there and helping me. I did a lot of the work myself, but there we go. If we can't do it, we need teamwork. And I work with Spirit as a team, but I'm working with others as teamwork as well. So DEMS and churches, I will be doing some. Now, I want to mention on churches, I don't come up for air, do I? Sorry. Ooh. So, churches. There are a couple of local churches here, and they've got dates to come back after the Christmas break. So we've got the 6th of February for Wollongong, which is in the Illawarra area, and Gymea, which is in Sydney, or in the Sydney area. And that's on the 6th of February. We've got Ramsgate, which are coming back on the 20th of February, and I know that their medium is Florence King, so that's going to be an absolute cracker, because she's so funny to watch. Well, so funny to watch because she's got a great personality, but she's also a very, very accurate medium. And then on the 6th of March, Caringbah are coming back. So watch out for all of those on I think they've all got Facebook pages. So Ramsgate, Wollongong, Gymea, and Caringbah. So that's the churches. I did say that I would give them a well, I'm in Wollongong, It is back on the 6th of February, Tony. And please come and say hello to me because I will be there, hopefully. Yes. Is Flo named after Florence? No, Bella. Florence. My granddaughter is called Florence May. Now, her great great grandmother was called Florence May, and her great grandmother was called Margaret May. So Florence is named after both of those ladies. So they wouldn't have known Florence King. So anyway, okay. So what else am I talking about? So questions. I haven't had any questions from anybody. Again, I will say that if you want to go and have a look at the website, everything's on there. The readings, there's lots and lots of testimonials as well, because I think testimonials are extremely important. I had today a healing from Tara, by the way. So look up, I've forgotten your surname, Tara. That's terrible. Hold on, I will tell you now. Tara Sawyer, Sawyer. Tara did a healing session on me today, and it was amazing. I can't say anything other than that. I was bombarded by colours and spirit, and it was just phenomenal. And I tell you what, I feel like, talk about firing on all cylinders, apart from my mouth. I need a new set of teeth. These are my own. But yeah, that was incredible. So I've offered to do a testimonial for her, because I do believe that if you have something from somebody and it was good, you should tell people. But I also think that if you have something from somebody and it wasn't so good, then don't go saying anything nice about it. So Gwenny, after submitting the form, when do we know which dates and classes will be put in? You'll be notified pretty much straight away, Gwenny. So I will, I'll keep you posted on all of that. Okay, so I think that covers everything that's on the website. The readings are really special. As I said, I did the reading for Tara today. Oh, and Bella makes handmade candles. I've got some of Bella's candles and they are beautiful. I know I had some burning the other day, actually, Bella, and somebody said, oh, what's that beautiful smell? And I said, oh, it's my friend Bella that makes the candles. So if anybody wants any candles, and listen, it's all about helping one another. So if any of you have got any services that need promoting, just tell me and I'll put it out there, as long as you give me a tester first. Yeah. I am teasing. Yes, we did meet at Seven Hills Spiritual Church, Tony, but I'd look forward to seeing you at Wollongong if you get the chance. Oh, okay, so I've talked all about the courses. I don't want to push them anymore because of the fact that they are, I'm just going to block somebody. And yeah, I don't want to, overdo it. I think I've probably overdone it, but I'm excited. I'm excited because this is something new for me, something new for my students, but it's something that's going to be really, really clever, I think. We've also got the opportunity of working alongside a really good friend of mine, Martin, who has got some online courses as well. But that is the history of things, and they will give you a qualification. This course, by the way, or these courses are going to be certified, and with a view to taking that further as soon as I can. So just bear with me on that one. So, what do we want to know? What do you want to ask? I still haven't had any questions apart from the courses, which is lovely. And what can I do for any of you? If I can do anything, I will. And if I can't, I'll find somebody who can. So I think, I know it's only 7:45, but I think I've done fairly well considering I haven't done any of this since the beginning of December. And it's been, for me, it was a pretty, it was a great Christmas, but it was a pretty, I'm going to say fraught, because of, I was still getting over the operation, and everything was so loud, and everything was, it was just everything was accentuated. And if I was in mixed company, it was, oh my gosh, that's deafening. But all of that has toned itself down now, so it is really, really good. Ingrid is on the list. Christina, definitely. So yeah, so I think, considering I had a massive panic half an hour before I started, in that not my cameras, I've got two cameras, and my microphone, nothing was working. So I did a quick dash up to Officeworks, thinking I've got time to go up and buy a new camera and microphone, which is still sitting in my bag, because when I was out I thought, oh damn, all I had to do was to switch everything off and reboot, and it worked. If in doubt, switch off and start again, or throw it out the window that used to be my motto when I lived in the UK. I had a pond in the garden, and if my computer was playing up, I threatened to throw it in the pond, and it always used to work miraculously. So, you know, I might have to do that here. You are going to be greeted by an absolute zoo when you get over to Spirit World, Bella. And you know, it's not just your loved ones that greet you when you get over there, it's your animals as well. And you'll be surprised who and what will be there for you. And I love that, you know. And even the number of people that have said, oh, you know, when I've given them a reading and you've brought through a classic one I can remember many years ago, and I was doing a church dem, and I said, I'd like to come to the young lady, I've got this gentleman here, he's telling me your dad, and she screamed at me, I don't want to talk to him. And I went, oh, and I was fairly new at doing all of this, so I pulled back and I said to Spirit, I need some help here. And in stepped grandmother, and she was just lovely. She was, I can remember, she was a larger lady, and she felt like she was giving me a great big hug, because I just felt completely shattered. Anyway, she gave me a beautiful message. I can't remember what the content was now, but she gave me a beautiful message to pass on to the girl, who got quite emotional. And at the end of the church service, she came up to me in tears, and she said, was that really my dad? And I said, yes. And she said, I'm so sorry that I didn't speak to him. And I said to her, it doesn't matter, because you got the message that you were going to get from your dad via your grandmother. So she was the messenger for him. And the lady walked away from there. She was so happy. So you'd be surprised who comes through and why they come through. And a lot of times, you know, I've got to say I'm sorry, I've got to say thank you, I've got to say, you know, thank you for the kiss on the cheek, I'm sorry I was a grump before I passed. All of those things are really, really important for your loved one to say. And in the reading that I did today for Tara, that was quite a hard-hitting reading, because the lady was very hard-hitting when she was in the physical, and I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can say that, and the woman's going, say it, say it, say it, and Tara was just tears and laughing and exactly knew who it was that was connecting. So we have to work with what we're given, and that's all we can do. We can't make it up, we can't make it fit. We've got to give what is given to us, but we've also got to be very mindful of the fact that we can't be cruel, we can't be irresponsible. I know Jenny Doherty and I'll get Jenny on here shortly. I will be having some guests from time to time, not all the time, but from time to time. Jenny is one that I will get on. Brett Thomas is another one. Martin Colclough is another one. I'm going to get Peter Smith back on, because he was the quantum physicist and everybody loved him. So that's about 4 or 5 different people already, and I'll spread them out. But, you know, I love the work that I do. I love the fact that you people come on here every week, or however, it hasn't been for about 5 or 6 weeks, but you come on here religiously, and I thank you so much for that. And any of you that have got any further questions that you want to ask, please go to my website. You can email me or you can ring me. I won't answer my phone all the time, so please, if you ring me and I don't answer, leave me a message. I get so upset when people don't leave a message, and the reason that I don't always pick up is because I'm busy, and I can't always get to the phone, but I will get back to you. So email, my phone, and the website, and every one of those bits of information is on my website. So Val's back, firing on all cylinders, which I'm so excited about. And I am looking forward so much to next week. I'm not going to play us out with any music. And again, you please let me know if that is if that is important to you. But that doesn't mean to say that we can't do the healing. Remember, the names are going to go in my beautiful healing book. And I have a new one, so I'm ready to. I've only got 2 pages left in this one, so I'm ready to start the new book. And again, Bella, thank you very much. That was such a thoughtful gift, and it was, oh my gosh, I just burst into tears when I opened it up. That was just magical. Yes, Val is back and shooting from the hip. So new classes, new courses, really in depth. Go and have a look at them. You love the healing song. I knew you were going to say that, Ali. And I did I say hello? Yes, I did say hello. So next week I'll play the healing song. And I know, it is important. And that's what I was going to say. With the op I've had, at the moment I can't sing, which is so annoying. I was singing with the girls yesterday, and it's like a little squeak coming out. So I'm doing some singing exercises. So you never know, by next week I might be able to squeak along with everybody. But thank you again for being here. Go and have a look at the website, please. And remember, I'm limiting my numbers to 10 per course, and it's March, April, May, June. It's 4 months, and then we'll see what happens after that. But I'm really excited about this whole format. It's going to be wonderful. So I will leave it there. And I hope you have the most wonderful week. I know I'm going to have a wonderful week. And actually, she says that I'm going to the hospital tomorrow to have my nose looked at again. And that's not a very nice process, I can tell you. But it's all good. I know that what happened and has happened for a reason. I had the best surgeons, so I count my blessings for that. Thank you all. Good night. God bless. So much healing. But don't forget, if you've got any names that you want to go in my healing book, please send them to me, because I will pick them up and put them in the book. And this book gets, the healing thoughts go out to this book all the time. So it's a regular process. It's a very important process for me, because healing is such a huge part of this work. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very, very much. Oh, thank you, Kathy. And I'll see you very, very soon, in fact. And love to you all, healing to you all, even if you don't ask for it. That healing energy goes out to each one of you. And for there, I'm going to say good night.